The saying is, nothing is for certain in life besides death and taxes, which is true. Life is all about probability, putting yourself in situations where the probable outcome that you will get the result you want increases substantially. For instance, I want to gain bigger muscles. So if I exercise, I have a high protein diet, I get plenty of sleep, and I stay away from empty calories, the probability that I will get the outcome that I want will increase substantially. But it is not a foregone conclusion. Similarly, when it pertains to your health, there are certain actions you can take that will decrease the chances that you will get sick. For the longest time, I've been taking zinc since it helps your cells. Every cell is composed of zinc. It helps strengthen your immune system. I've also been making a concerted effort to get sunlight from the ultraviolet rays of the sun. That's how you get vitamin D. As I was studying vitamin D, I found out that not only is it as important as I thought, but it also has a lot more uses. It is a potential therapeutic for COVID-19. Now, I'm not saying it prevents COVID-19. I am not saying it is a cure. I'm simply stating that it is kind of like an aspirin for COVID-19. What you got to realize about vitamin D is that it is not just a vitamin. It is also a hormone, a steroid hormone. That's because it goes into the nucleus and the membranes, and it makes changes in the cells. In your body, you have different vitamin D receptors that are in your nuclear receptors. It goes through the membrane and affects the binding on the receptors and goes into the nucleus where it makes changes. It changes the way the cells in your body behave. Now, why is it called vitamin? Well, vitamin is vital, meaning you need it to live, and amin, meaning it is a type of chemical compound. Just like amino acids, it is a building block, basically. For the longest time, scientists, and myself included, I don't want to say I'm a scientist, I'm far from it, thought vitamin D used to be thought of as only building calcium, but it does a lot more than that. One of the things that it does, it is a fat-soluble vitamin, and it goes into the nucleus of the cell, and it blocks or pauses the transcription of RNA. That RNA programs the cells. That's what the vaccinations contain, is RNA. You have different vitamin D types and different receptors. One of the receptors is in your immune system. The thing about vitamin D is your body does not produce it naturally like it does melatonin and serotonin. You have to make sure you get sunlight or that you take dietary supplements. That's why it is difficult for people during the winter times to get a substantial and an adequate amount of vitamin D. And since vitamin D is a hormone, it affects changes in the body, just like cortisol. If you have too much cortisol, then you're going to stress and have health problems. If you have too little, then you're going to be too relaxed. It's all about the equilibrium of balancing your body's hormones. Hormones also affect different tissues in your body. But the biggest thing I found out about it as I was studying is that it can affect and change your immune cells. When you get sunlight, ultraviolet light, radiation, your body converts it into vitamin D. One of the places it goes is the liver. It converts into 1,25 hydroxyl vitamin D. It can also go in the immune system. When it goes through the receptors in your kidney, it's used for metabolism and calcium. Something else interesting is that scientists have found vitamin D in the Leukocytes cells. For those of you that are unfamiliar with what that is, those are the white blood cells in your immune system. Basically, 125 hydroxyl is the active form of vitamin D. So it is in your body, it is activating your immune system. It is also helping you flush out toxins through your liver, which also helps your immune system. And of course, it helps transcribe RNA through the cell. It also helps build calcium and strong bones. Something interesting, though, is 125 hydroxyl vitamin D is simply the active form. But if you drink high fructose corn syrup, which is found in a lot of sodas, it can actually block and make 125 hydroxyl vitamin D inactive. Also, if you are obese, it makes it more difficult for it to circulate around your body. I'm not saying causation is correlation, but I live in a certain state where it is top 5 in obesity. I also do not see a lot of people outside. Right now, I am the only one on my street who is currently getting some sunlight. My state, just to leave you a clue, you could Google and find it based upon this information, has the fastest rising current COVID numbers. People want to say it's due to lack of social distancing and mask, but I've never seen more businesses requiring masks, and I've never seen more people social distancing. My town, my little small town, is also one of the hotspots for the COVID disease. I think there are a couple factors. As I stated, it's all about probability, putting yourself in a certain position. People are overweight. Also, according to the National Foundation of Health, the average person only spends 7% of their time outside. Now, the problem is during the wintertime, when you do spend your time outside, sunlight is very sparse. It is very hard to catch. Not many people make a concerted effort to get sunlight because they are not interested in gaining the right information.